Alright, let's try this again. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Hello Anton, welcome back. Hello Charlotte, how you doing? Welcome in here. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, what's up? Hope everyone's doing well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, what's everybody been up to today then? Yeah. Oh yeah, from Jace's. Oh yeah, I think I've seen you in there, yeah. Yeah, where's Jace been today? I've not seen him at all. I thought he might have been live today, but no, not seen him in the morning or evening, so is he like busy or something? It's good to have you here. I was just doing a few of these, I'll show you what it is. It's basically something that can work the side delts. Having a rest today. Oh yeah. What is that? Jace having a rest today. I thought he wasn't one for having rest days or something. Or has it just gotten too much for him? Well, he did like 2,069 core reps, didn't he, the other day? That was insane, that. So this is an exercise I've been like working on. It's called, you might call it like side plank rotations. But yeah. Are you doing this? How you doing, people? Welcome in. That's painful a little bit, yeah. Thank you, Medicidi. One arm push-up. It's not a one arm push-up, it's a side plank rotation. Hello, Tammy G. Burpees. No, that's burpees you mean. Not right now, I don't think. Yeah. Shows your muscles, okay. We'll do that then. Alright. Here we go. Yeah. That's us. Yeah, so this is what we've got, so. This is my core. Been trying to work on that a bit lately. Just give it a bit of a flex. Medicidi says nice. Nice. Alright, yeah, I'll put my t-shirt back on, but yeah, that's my current physique, so. But yeah, those side plank rotations, I think they're good for like your side delts. They're also good for your obliques, but I find it work my side delts a bit. So yeah, it's I find actually get more of a strain than I would from spamming lateral raises, which are these things. Hello Dale, where have you been? You alright? Charlotte, are you still there? So these are, you know, lateral raises. So this sort of thing. Alright, what we're saying, people. How are you all doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Can't spell soy, okay. No worries. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. That would be really appreciated. Gonna do the other arm now. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, side lateral raises can work your side delts to a degree, but I find when I'm doing those side plank rotations, you really get that kind of like twist thing. You got that kind of yeah. All right, here we go. Come to think of it, that might be what's growing my neck. Yeah. So we're going on about like neck training and all that, but I'm wondering if that might be actually making my neck wider because of all the, when I'm like, I don't know, it could be, yeah, causing something in the neck, I don't know. Yeah, I've been a lot more serious last few weeks. I mean, no point fucking around. You're on winter arc now, you know. No IT, no, don't speak Hindi. Yeah, we're on winter arc now. No fucking around, you know. Ain't no time to fuck around. I ain't gonna fuck around and just like waste another winter, you know. I probably kind of messed around a bit last winter where I didn't really go as hard as I could. It could be your neck is definitely wider. Yeah, it's yeah, we're getting there, isn't it? Yeah, it's just but I'm thinking the side delts, because when I'm like lifting up, especially when you go up high, you know, when you're going up, like especially if you're going past your horizontal, it might actually be starting to like, especially like the traps, possibly a bit of your neck as well. Yeah, that's it. You get serious with the winter arc, you know. Like spring and summer's for shredding, you know. But yeah, that's, you know, winter's for gaining size. There's no point messing it up and just be. You know, it's because it's like winter time. It's not much else to do really. It's kind of miserable weather a lot of the time in the winter. It's been miserable all day. Try and use it as an opportunity for self-improvement, getting into a new hobby, doing something that's going to benefit your life in some way, instead of just like wasting it doing pointless shit. So yeah, I think you said you started doing something, so that's good. It's good that you're working on yourself now. I think everybody should be. Do the best that you can. But yeah, it's good to have you all here tonight. If anybody's new here, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, it's gone a bit slow again, so hang on. Let me just back out of this a second. Okay, so it wasn't. Oh, you took the right approach. Yeah, I think it's been ever since I've been taking the creatine. I've been a bit more serious with the training because I'm like, really want to try and maximize my potential with it and just try to, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you've been inspired. That's good then. So you probably haven't like really seen any progress yet, have you? I mean, have you seen at least any strength gains or anything like that, or? It's made me step my game up, as they say. Yeah, that's it. Because when you start seeing other people doing it, it sort of inspires you. This is why they say you become like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're spending a lot of your time around a bunch of losers, then you're going to pick up their habits. But if you spend your time with successful people and people who are just on the way to success, then you're going to become more like them, So it's about, it's about your environment, choosing your environment wisely and not being around a bunch of degenerate people who are into things like gambling, into things like drinking, because that is not good for your self-improvement journey to be embracing a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Let's get this shout out if you can. Thank you for the 9 likes. Who's still in here then? But yeah, that's really worked my side delts. But yeah. Oh yeah, you take care, Anton. See you again soon. Thank you for the 10 likes, everybody. I haven't been able to change the title on this one because there's something off with my internet at the moment. It's been messing up for the last few hours now, so yeah, just got to deal with that really. Usually it sorts itself out after a few hours, but we'll see. Yeah, so like I said, there's just no point in messing around with, kind of pointless crap. It's good to have a bit of time to, like I say, if you play video games, if you do it for just a little bit, if it's something that you just do to wind down, but we all have our ways of kind of chilling out, whatever. And but if you're doing this stuff all day, wasting time, if you're smoking weed all day, whatever, and it's like, if that's what you want to do, then whatever. But it's just, if you're, for some people it's just a distraction. It's a distraction away from what they should actually be doing. It's a distraction them away from purpose. Because a life without purpose, I think it has no meaning. It's just kind of pointless. You're just living from day to day, just kind of not really kind of having any goals, any direction in your life. Because I think that it's important to have direction in your life. Have some ambition, have some... have a vision for the future, have something that you see in your mind as like a thing that you want to see in your reality, that's like whatever you can envision, I think you can actually bring it into reality, but you have to become that person who can get it. You have to change your mindset, you have to be willing to embrace the struggle to get it. You can't just be some weak beta kind of person, whatever. But yeah, I remember what you said. People, I think, sometimes even partake in idle talk as a distraction. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, that you get these things like, like people gossiping and yeah, welcome back, Abby. Where did you go? People gossiping over crap that doesn't actually matter. It's just people, just. Yeah, it just doesn't actually solve any issues. They just, yeah, a lot of it's just meaningless crap. I mean, conversations which generally seem empty and just fill the time, almost like a needed distraction. Yeah, I get that, but it's like you shouldn't be. Instead of like using that to distract yourself from life, then you should be like, just like getting into action and like, right, I need to sort my life out. I need to get into self-improvement. I need to become better. Because if I want better results, then I need to become better. It's as simple as that. You're not going to get better outcomes just by doing what you're doing right now. You're going to have to step your game up. Like you were saying, Dale, about, with the fitness, it's like you have to step your game up and do what's needed to be done. Otherwise, you're just going to be like everybody else who just, or most people, I mean, that just don't really bother to actually take things seriously. Of course, there's a lot of people getting into fitness now. There's a lot of seems to be very much a divide. You're either really into fitness or you're just like a bum, basically, it seems at this point. Not really much in between, is there? But yeah, but it's not even just about the fitness. It's like just the whole lifestyle thing, and a lot of people just want the easy way out. Even a lot of the people that are into fitness, like they'll go home and then they'll just kind of distract themselves with whatever crap that like on TV or whatever, and not actually be very ambitious. And the problem is that some people think that, oh yeah, I'll just get jacked and that'll get me a girlfriend, and that's what they do it for, a lot of them. And they won't actually bother to work on themselves outside of that. And I think that's a real issue, where you become this like one-dimensional person, that all your personality is about the gym, being a gym rat or whatever, and it's like, but you're not a very well-rounded person. And I think that can be why it can be a bit of a red flag if you seem to be very much obsessed with yourself and with the gym and all that. You take it so seriously because they think, maybe he doesn't have a personality outside of that, and just basically like a gym cell kind of person, really, that just uses it as some kind of cope or something, when they don't actually really have any social skills, and all it's going to do is just make you even more awkward over time. Because with like socializing, you need to. Oh yeah, I just saw your video come up now about the weightlifting. So I have to go check that out later. But yeah, but it seems like most people lack accountability nowadays. I think it's just because life's become so convenient that people are used to all these mod cons, and that whenever there's a slight bit of adversity, that they'll try to avoid it at all costs instead of embracing it. People are not very adaptable now because they're so used to comfort. So when there's a bit of rain, they're like, oh, it's raining. Just deal with it, it's not really that bad, is it? I know you don't want the easy way, because the easy way is just going to be you just get fat, you become lazy and just miserable in the long run. So you got to think about like what's going to be the best in the long run, but most people just don't think ahead. They don't think about what is my actions going to do in the long run. Yeah, I might be happy now with like they'll just eat all the sugar, and then in the long run they get the diabetes or something. So not think about what it's going to do in the long run, and just like resist the temptation now for a better life in the long run. And so you get someone like Jack LaLanne, for example, who he was fit all his life. He was actually a natural bodybuilder, I think he was, and he was basically doing the push-ups and things up till the very end, like until he died, like 96 years old he died at. And the thing that took him was actually pneumonia. Until like a week before he was dead, he was healthy, he was fine, and then suddenly, just puff, gone. So like 96 years old, pretty good age to get to. But you'd rather be that person than be like 100-year-old who, you know, has like 20 years of like chronic disease. He did push-ups until he was 96. Yeah, that's apparently what happens. He was like very much into fitness, and I remember Jack, he was known as one of the fittest men in the world and had some pretty awesome feats of strength. Yeah, because he invented a thing called the Jack LaLanne push-up, which is a very difficult move where it's a hyperextension variation of the push-up. So most people are not going to be able to do a single rep of it. It's very, very difficult to do. But if you can master that, then you can pretty much master almost anything. It's so yeah, it's pretty like inspiring to see some of these feats of strength. Like when you see people doing things like the human flag and stuff like that, I'm like, I wish I could do stuff like that, but I'm a tall guy, like, you know, so I have my limitations when it comes to that. Some people think, oh, I wish I was tall, but it's got its drawbacks as well. So people seem to always wish to be something that they're not. You know, people who are short, they wish to be taller, and then some tall people, they wish to be shorter. So it's like, I mean, maybe somewhere in between would be ideal, like where you're not too short to where you're like a pygmy, but then you're not a really, really tall to where you're lanky and you're hard to fill out your frame. And yeah, I don't really know what's your life goals by the time you're 40. I don't really want to think that far ahead, but hopefully before long I'm going to have multiple like streams of income set up. But I'm hoping it's going to be way before 40. I want it, yeah. So I mean, I don't really think about 40 years old. I'm like, it's just about like progression every year, and I don't really put like time limits on things, and I'll just kind of, yeah, because the thing is, the universe doesn't really work in terms of your timeline on things, so I don't really want to be thinking like that. I think it's best to just focus on your progress right now, because you never know, things might take longer than you think, or things might take less than you think. But what income streams are you thinking of? I've got a few things in mind. So like I said, I want to take this somewhere. I want to try and get this monetized soon. It's hopefully going to get monetized within the next week or two. And I'm also planning on I'm planning to do street performing again soon. So I'm going to try and, I might tour around and start street performing. I also want to look at like affiliate marketing, possibly even some sponsorships at some point once I've got enough following. Also, like I said, I was talking about wanting to invest in index funds, so I'll put some of my money into that. So if it all works out well, you know, like you're looking at probably making a few thousand a month at least off all of that. What kind of money can you get from YouTube live streams? You can get super chats, but the thing is, YouTube takes a cut, but like people can pay to like have their comments highlighted. But there's other ways you can make money from YouTube, like from the ads, but I'm hoping that it can start to get quite busy. I'm actually thinking about like, but basically when I'm going to start doing the street performing, I might try and use it as an opportunity to actually promote my YouTube, because that will help it to then get traction to more people. I was actually thinking of doing I was actually doing some beatboxing earlier on and just walking down into town. I was pouring down with rain, and I just thought, you know, let's just start practicing my freaking beatboxing. I was having a good time with that, you know. It kind of made me forget about the shitty weather that was going on at the time. It was a good distraction. I was thinking, you know, maybe I should try and, you know, do some of that. Maybe people would like to see me, like, how's it going, Emilio? Good to see you again. I hope you've had a good day today. Welcome in here. Hope everyone's doing well. I could actually film that stuff, because I could use my phone to stream it. But yeah, so I could stream some of it perhaps. And yeah, so that could I could get like some bits of money, and I could, yeah, and then I'll be getting more money I should get some of the money from the busking. I would get, like I said, hopefully do some other streams of income, like maybe even merch at some point, maybe even my own products at some point. Who knows? Like, it'd be great to start, you know, maybe I could come out with my own freaking protein powder or something like that. Who knows? I could look into some blend, maybe even like some kind of supplement with different ingredients in it, like because you get people like, for example, like people like Body who's come out with his own one, but some people say it's a bit of an overpriced supplement, but yeah, a lot of these people come out with their own supplements. Like you get people like Greg Doucette or whatever who has a whole load of different supplements. He's making an absolute bank off it. Even has his own cookbook. It's like when you actually look at like how much money he's making off that shit. How many copies that he's sold of these things. 134 subs. I'm 31 subs. Okay, cool. But yeah, so my goal would be to just try and keep pushing with this, and yeah, and like I said, with some of the profits I make, I can invest it, because if you can make, say, like, I don't know, let's say I start making real serious money. Hello Zena, how you doing? Let's say if I start making £100,000 a year off a few income streams, and let's say if I put it into like an index fund, so yeah, I could be looking at making about 7,000 a year just off that. But that's for the first year, so I could, like, if I just left it in there to build up over a few years, it could start making multiplying. So like it could actually multiply the value of it. So yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. What about you? So yeah, so I've got some big like plans and things that, because I'm trying to figure out how to put it all together. Like I said, I was thinking about, because I've been wanting to travel, so I could tie in the traveling with the busking and all that, and doing some vlogging of that. So people would like to, I think a lot of people would like to see me do traveling and stuff. So good, thanks. That's good to hear. Then, if anybody's new here, make sure you subscribe. So that it would all tie together. I think it would tie together quite nicely. And one thing I need to do when I'm doing the busking is try to be a bit more, because I kind of struggle a bit with, like, when it comes to interacting with the crowd, because if I'm doing, let's say, singing or beatboxing, like, I would tend to just kind of do my set and not really interact with people that much. But I might be able to make more money if I was to be a bit more kind of talkative while I'm doing it, and just, I don't know. But yeah, I was thinking that would be a good way to promote my channel, because if I have a banner there or something that will say that I go live on YouTube and put videos out on YouTube, then if even just a few people see that every time I'm out there, and then that is getting me a lot more exposure. It's getting me exposure every time I'm doing it. So like, yeah, you have a good voice. You could be a good narrator. Okay, thank you. Okay then. So I'm just saying, like, it's just, you gotta just think, like, in terms of you can do whatever you put your mind to, basically. I'm not still on TikTok. No, I've got banned from it. Why, did you used to watch me on there or something? I got banned off TikTok. I thought you knew about that. I literally made a video a while ago about the fact that I'm banned off there, but most of the people haven't come over to watch me on here. So it kind of shows how they really don't care that much, I guess. I don't even know why I got banned off there. It was just, I don't know if my ex had anything to do with it, because I had this toxic ex who was, no, you said one time about getting banned. Yeah, I've been banned. Why did you get banned? I don't even know. Like, they say it's multiple violations, and I just don't know what, I don't exactly know. It might have been reported, but the thing is, I've had, restrictions before on it, but they don't give you, like, exact reasons, so you're left wondering, like, what exactly caused it. But the thing with TikTok is that they're very, I don't know if my ex did it. It's just funny how, because I was talking about things that were going on, and she probably didn't like how I was calling her out and shit, and that could have been what did it. But yeah, she's an absolute fucking psychopath, and I don't really want to be talking about her anymore. It's just the worst person I've ever met. Like, I'm not even lying. I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, like, literal, like, worst person I've ever met, pretty much. Just absolutely horrible. like, yeah. But yeah, it's just that, you know, some people just, they might see you as a bit vulnerable or something like that and try to kind of, they'll see, she probably thought I was this, like, nice guy or something like that, but thing is, though, if you get on the fucking wrong side of me, then you better fucking regret it, because, I mean, you better be, yeah, you'll wish you hadn't have done it, because I'm going to make sure that your life is ruined. I'm alright, thank you, Dixon. Yeah, no, I'm better off, I know, it's just, yeah, I'm just happy as I am right now, you know, because I've got some plans for the future, I've got some ambition, and if you're with the wrong person, it can actually hold you back. You know, if all you're thinking about is you're worrying about that person all the time, then that's going to hold you back. All your mental bandwidth is taken up by that. So what I'm saying is, be careful who you go out with, because, or even online, like it was online, but be careful, because it can actually hold you back from your purpose if you're not careful. Just don't plan another partner. The right one will come eventually. Yeah. Well, she will come, if you know what I mean. How are the women over there in the UK? Well, I don't know. It's just the West in general, like I was talking about earlier, that most people in general I'm just not really trusting these days, because I've come to realise that so many people have become quite cold. Xena is a troll. Okay. Whatever. Not my problem. Like, this is set as not for kids, so yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, not every single woman. There is good women out there, and you probably, like I was saying the other night, if you want to find a good woman, it's probably better if you're in environments that are like with wholesome people, like not in these big cities where it's a bunch of degenerates for the most part. You got to be finding around more of like the kind of conservative type of women who have more values, and like they don't believe in like promiscuity and things like that. In more kind of quieter areas where it's not just like hypersexualized everywhere. And yeah, no, Dixon's a troll, but yeah. It's just, I think, yeah, it's about trying to. Some people will just be a cop-outs and just end up going to freaking Southeast Asia. So I was actually thinking about, finding some. The thing is, right, a lot of these are not to be trusted either. It turns out a lot of them have ulterior motives, and they might try and just rinse you of your money. So be very, very careful with these things, because it might be like jumping out the frying pan and into the fire going over there, to be honest. You've got to be very careful what you're getting yourself into. That's why I say women have to be virgins. I mean, I understand people's point, but the problem is when you get people like Andrew Tate, who goes on about that, but he's promiscuous himself. So I just don't really take people like that seriously, because you should be practicing what you preach. He just goes sleep around with a bunch of women, saying he has all these girlfriends, but then expects the woman to be a virgin. Oh, you're a virgin, yeah. That's okay, it's like, we shouldn't be as long as you're not ashamed of that, that's okay. It's just, but yeah. Have you seen that freaking Jack's Fitness guy? I was watching a video earlier on someone's channel where they were trying to help him, help him to pull, but yeah. And he's 19 years old or whatever he is now, and he's just he's just so awkward. I reckon he has some kind of I don't know whether he has something, I don't know. I don't know if he's autistic or like me, but cause I am a bit autistic, and I think he's got something I don't know if it's just from being a skinny kid, and he was just very much socially awkward from all that. But oftentimes they could still be confident enough to try and get a few friends in school, but so I'm wondering if he has something else going on in his head that's making him so kind of awkward. I don't know. It's just yeah. How's it going, Andrew Johnston? Hope you're doing well. To be fair, he has made a little bit of progress with the, you know, from what, when you first saw him, like, we were so skinny, but he's still quite skinny, but like, he's filled out a little bit. But yeah, it's just sad that he's having to take freaking MK just to bulk up. Yeah. Some are saying he's a bit of a cop-out, but if he's actually really tried so hard and couldn't make any progress, then, you know, you got to do what you got to do. As long as you do things safely, as long as you're not taking freaking tren or some bullshit like that, then high intensity training, yeah. I don't know if he's actually going as hard as he could do, because oftentimes, like, if you're not training hard enough, then you're not going to work up an appetite to stimulate growth. Like, you sort of like work for your appetite kind of thing. It's like for a lot of people, like they have to, you know, like really train hard to then be able to, you know, start kind of being hungry for like protein and to, you know, so that then you can build your muscles up. If you get me, so yeah. So you might find that your appetite is ravenous after a hard workout. Yeah. So that's what tends to happen is that, yeah, they become very hungry for like anything basically. So you've got to be careful not to like overdo on the sugary, fatty foods. Try to focus on like protein-rich foods after a workout, because that way you don't end up like putting on unnecessary amounts of body fat. So that could be a thing, just to make sure your diet's dialed in, and so you're not putting on extra body fat. And if you eat a lot of like sugar as well, then make sure you're walking it off. Do you know at APBT dogs? What's that? They get super lean. Oh really? What's APBT dogs? What do you mean? Quick. Oh really? What do you mean they're quite fast dogs, are they? I don't really know anything about that. American Pit Bull Terrier. Oh really? Aren't they like quite muscular dogs or something? I know like a lot of the Bull Terrier dogs, they're quite muscular, aren't they? Yeah, I've never really been a fan of any of those kind of dogs, really. But yeah, some people use them as like guard dogs, don't they? Because they can be quite intimidating to people. But they motivate me a lot. Well, that's good then if you find that they get you motivated. I'm always around them. Oh yeah. Well, that's good then. That if it's helping you, then yeah. What time are we on? It's nearly 10 p.m. Yeah. It's going a bit slow tonight, really, but I don't know. It's just yeah. We've not really had a big like chat here tonight. I don't know. It was busy for a little bit, but I guess it's with Saturday night and if everyone's busy. But you protein and hard training. So what's your thoughts on like volume versus intensity? Because there's this whole debate on which one's better. Is the channel picking up? We've gained a few more subscribers, but it's kind of slow. But yeah. You know, the whole thing of intensity versus volume, like which one's more important? I would say like when it comes to like high intensity, you're probably going to just get more bang for your buck in that. How's that going, Don? Yeah. What do you mean by volume? I guess like in terms of like number of sets, for example, like let's say some people might spam a bunch of sets doing, say, like 5 to 10 sets of a particular workout. But the thing is that the intensity of those sets, like they're probably not going to failure on these sets, you know, like because in order to go failure for like multiple times, it's going to be very taxing on the system. Do it to failure, because they say like you only really need one step to true failure. A lot of times is that people think they're going to failure, but they're actually not. You can drop the weight, but then you're just getting like diminishing returns. So you're probably going to get most of your results from like your first set, basically. If you just want to like be time efficient and just focus on intensity, and then hang on, Jace has just put, has he gone live or something? Hang on, or has he just put a video out? Let's have a look. Just saw something about Jace, but yeah, I mean there's like drop sets and all that, but some people like work up to it, like they'll do warm up sets. Some people say that that's better because it can prevent injuries, because you're warming the muscle up before you get into like your heavy set. But you could do a warm up set and then your real like hard set to finish on that particular muscle. Yeah, what's this? Let's see, we wait until the muscle gets loose again and attack it a bit more. I mean, yeah, I think they found that like spamming a bunch of volume beyond a certain point, it has like, what is it called? Like, I mean, but yeah, the focus on intensity and over volume is, yeah, I don't know any other way, to be honest, right? It's focus on progressive overload and training to failure, basically, is kind of like the main sort of thing that seems to drive hypertrophy. But yeah, you can do like more volume and all that, and I think more for like advanced lifters, they might benefit more from that, especially if these are going to be more like people with like on steroids who can better recover each set. I think with the increases in these steroids in your body, that, you know, so like a lot of the advice that these people are giving, like for example things like protein requirements and stuff like that, these are not for natural lifters, and especially not for beginners. Like for beginners, like, yeah, a lot of people are not going to be able to recover from like many sets, because you're just breaking into it. Your body will start to learn to build up, you know, work capacity over time. But yeah. But for people starting out, like, it's said that just about 1 to 3 sets to failure is enough for building muscle. But yeah, any more than that would probably, I mean, sometimes I do more, it depends on what I feel like. I mean, sometimes I do 4 or 5 sets or something, but sometimes I don't go like all the way to failure. So it's like, it depends on what I feel like doing, whether I feel like taking a full set to failure and then seeing where I can go from there, or just spamming a few sets of something. But some might argue that that's not as efficient. I don't know the exact equation. Yeah, it's just that you're probably going to start getting diminishing returns, because what's going to happen is if you keep spamming volume, then eventually you're going to weaken the muscle to a point where it's going to take longer for it to recover. So you've got that issue if you're going to, it depends on your ability to recover and all that, and it's okay, Abby. So basically, does heavy lifting affect the eyesight? Don't think so. Why would it affect the eyesight? Why? I've never heard that before. But basically, yeah, like, you know, doing tons of volume, that can then lead to, yeah, I mean, it can eventually lead to overtraining if you're doing it too much. But let's say if you did like 20 sets on a particular muscle group, the problem when you're doing that is that then that muscle then has to, because you've broke it down so much, it's going to take a lot longer for it to recover. So if you just kind of broke it down a little bit, then a couple of days later, you're able to, 3 days later, you're able to attack that muscle again. Like, as long as you can, work that muscle, like, a couple of times a week, let's say, 2 to 3 times a week, attack that same muscle group, then that's enough to grow, basically. So, any more than that, you're pretty much just, like, arguably either diminishing returns or even negative returns at a certain point, where you're just overtraining and you're just not able to recover and be able to keep on making, to be able to progressively overload. So it's all about balance, I think, at the end of the day, when it comes to volume and intensity. But I think primarily you should be focusing on quality of sets rather than number of sets. Like, if you do a quality set, then you can just kind of decide after that if you feel like you can do another set at that same weight, or if you want to drop it down a little bit. Have I found the correlation? Oh, really? What, the correlation between bodybuilders and eyesight? Hello, Xander Barlow. How you doing? What's up? Hello, Blind Facebook. Who's Jamie Brown? I'm Jamie Brown. Yeah, I'm Jamie Brown. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That'll be really appreciated. But yeah, so I think some people just are afraid to actually take it to failure, because it might be because going to failure is very, very challenging. It's very forcing out that last rep is very. But that's those are the last couple of reps are the ones that are really the most crucial for building muscle, though. So, and if you're trying to do volume as a substitute, you could end up with a thing called it could be more taxing on your system if you're trying to focus on, if you're at the gym for freaking 3-4 hours a day. Some people, of course, most people aren't there that long, but if you're just spamming out a bunch of volume, then that could be quite taxing on your nervous system, and it might lead to slower gains in the long run. So you either build in some rest days or into a program, or you would train little bits every day. You could do some mini workouts every day that is not taxing on your system. What's this? Have you ever seen the trainer, former bodybuilder, Dorian Yates? So what do you think of his approach? What's his approach? It's just that there was this Mike Mensa guy who was very much pro high intensity training at a high intensity, taking your set to failure. Yeah, so a lot of these are old school bodybuilders are very much avid, but a lot of these modern ones are saying about for example, people like Mike Israetel or whatever, going on about high volume training. But I think that it all comes down to what your body can deal with. If you can take a set to failure and then you can do it again, but you're not losing too much strength on your next set, then I think it's worth taking it again. And once you've lost a certain amount of strength, then it might be time to move on to the next exercise, because you're just, like I said, you're getting diminishing returns, and it's just you're going to be weaker each set. A Hindu push-up, I've seen that actually, but it's quite a complicated one, isn't it? It's there's another name for it as well, but I can't remember. But it's kind of like a pike push-up with a kind of, it's very much it's like a kind of, yeah, it's a complicated movement. I don't know if there's really any I don't know if it begins with an M. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but yeah, I've seen it, but like I did try it once, but I don't think I did it really properly. Like you got to try and get the form correct with it. I was going on about the Jack LaLanne push-up earlier, which looks really difficult, and I've tried it and I couldn't even do the proper version of it. Because there's one version where your like hands are flat to the ground, but there's a version where you have like your fingers like kind of like that, and it's just so like it's almost impossible basically. So, but yeah, like there's some really like difficult variations of a lot of these exercises. So people say, oh yeah, calisthenics is like so easy or whatever, but like you can find ways to make your own body weight very challenging. So if you've seen the video of bodybuilders before steroids, I saw something popped up about Sam Sulek before steroids. I actually watched a video a while ago, like a documentary on him, how he used to be a diver. Like he was good at diving, but then he started to want to get into bodybuilding and eventually kind of gave up with that because he started to get too big for that sport, because it tends to favor more kind of more slender kind of guys rather than the bodybuilder kind of physique, because so you have too much weight on you, and because they do all these like crazy like flips and things, and it's like because a lot of it comes down to like strength to body weight ratio and all that, and being too big can be actually a hindrance in some ways. There's some massive natural physics. Yeah, what was it, Ronnie Coleman before he took steroids, and he was quite big as well, because it was his genetics that determined it really. But yeah, but even for like just like your kind of normal genetics people, you got people like Jeffrey Verity Schofield and people like Natural Hypertrophy who have pretty big muscles, and they're natural. So, and some people want to try and make out that they're fake natties or whatever, but they're not. They're natural. Like there's no telltale signs that they're on something. Like people can say what they want, but a lot of these people are probably jealous because they haven't got physiques like that. So this is what you can tell when someone's jealous, is when they call someone fake natties. But I don't know, it could also be in some cases that they've just got warped perceptions of what's naturally capable. Hanuman push-up. I don't think I've heard that one, Hanuman push-up. I'm sure there's another name for it, but I can't remember. But that doesn't ring any bells, but it's a bit complex, yeah. But these people like, there's somebody called Uncommon Sense as well. But yeah, like usually someone would have like a telltale sign that they're on steroids. One thing that can happen actually is if you're on all this like testosterone, is that you would have like a sudden change in your, well, it would happen very quickly, a sudden change in your voice. Like you see, especially when women go on it, like you can tell that their voice has changed. But even like guys that go on it, they might find that they have like permanently changed voices after going on it. Like if you see them like 1 year ago and in a year now, it's like they sound somewhat deeper. So that could be one thing that you can sort of look out for. Is there any noticeable changes in their voice? Another thing is that unnaturally big delts and traps, because there's a lot of androgen receptors in there. Suddenly becoming riddled with acne is another one that can potentially happen. Gyno as well is quite common. So these are like physical side effects that you can see. Also, if their personalities change to become more erratic, more angry and aggressive, more so than they were, that some people might be able to learn to deal with it, but if there needs to be some change up in their personality, that if it also coincides with an increase in muscle, and if there's been like this kind of where there was this kind of like linear increase in muscle, and then suddenly out of nowhere they've had new, like what seem like new gains that doesn't seem natural, like where they might have been gaining, let's say, 2-3 pounds of muscle every year, then suddenly they jumped up to like 10 pounds in a year. You know, you've got to look at like, you know, like the timeline and be like, this person seemed to have started on at that point, but I think some of them are starting steroids at the very beginning and not even seeing how far they can push themselves naturally, which I think is a problem really. And but actually a while ago I made a video about like how you don't actually need to have like huge muscle to get women. It's not really even preferred. In fact, it starts to become kind of a turn off at a certain point when it becomes too big. I would actually even say people like Jeffrey Verity Schofield, people like that even might be a bit too big for some women actually. But some will still like it at that point, but it starts to get to like diminishing returns with these sort of things, and especially when it gets to like steroid level. When it gets to that point, usually it becomes more of a turn off when they start to get like veins everywhere, and they become, you know, they start to look grainy and become like, the skin becomes very like, also like the problem is their skin gets all kind of messed up as well, less collagen with the steroids, and so yeah, they're oftentimes they have low muscle quality when they've got huge muscles like that. When they're on all these different steroids, you know, some of them end up getting like palumboism and shit like that, if you've ever looked into that. But there's just all sorts of problems that can happen when you're that big. When your body's that big, it's just not natural, and I don't think most women would actually like that. Oh yeah, there's a thing, right, that kind of annoys me really, is that like people saying that, oh, if you want date a muscly woman, that makes you not a real man. That's some bullshit. That real men, for the most part, want feminine women. Why does a man want a woman who's got like big biceps and broad shoulders? If anything, it's just because men tend to want a dimorphic woman, just like how women want a dimorphic man. They want it balanced, and they want like men tend to want a woman who looks like a woman, you know, one that actually is quite feminine and you know, not too hard looking and not too like not manly looking. They want a woman to be, you know, like that doesn't mean she has to be like so weak that she can't pick up like a freaking tin of beans or something, but like I don't think that they need to really be focusing so much on upper body workouts and stuff, because it's like, yeah, lower body, they could, you know, I think that can actually help them, can get them, you know, help them get more of that hourglass figure in some cases. But you know, training your upper body, getting a thick back, and you know, trying to train lats and trying to train your, you know, it can get a bit like, it just doesn't look right, I don't think, on a woman personally. And some guys and some women will say, oh, if you won't date one of these women, you're not a real man. No, it's bullshit. Like, if anything, if men are dating these kind of women, I would question your sexuality. I mean, I'm thinking, what is it that makes you so turned on about this woman? Are you actually closet or something? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, because I was watching it on, because like, basically it was that to Mike was with his woman, and because she's also a bit of like a bodybuilder, and quite masculine looking woman actually, and yeah, basically, I think it was Philion was doing a reaction to it, and he was saying something about the men who are into this, that they might actually be like closeted basically, if you know what I mean. They like it up the duff. Good. But basically, what I'm saying is that I don't know. Maybe there's just some people have different interests, I guess. But I just don't understand the whole like wanting a woman to look like a man but still liking women. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I want a woman to look like a woman. Like, my mentality would be, it's like, if I wanted a woman to look like a man, then I just want a man then, because they're going to do it the best. I don't know. Sus behavior. What's sus behavior? Even about the whole, like the whole kind of thing of men preferring these muscular women. I mean, like I said, it's like it's fine. I'm like in terms of like, you know, like lower body muscle, because lower body muscle is not very like a dimorphic thing. In fact, when you find that like women tend to have almost the same amount of muscle in their lower body as men, so you'll notice like women can get quite good numbers on the squats because they've got a lot more like of the androgen receptors in their lower body as opposed to their upper body. So for a woman to be more dimorphic and more attractive, it would make sense for her to be not too muscular in her upper body, especially at like a very low body fat percentage. Because the thing is, she might be able to get away with having some muscle in her upper body if she's not like too lean, because for it to like show through too much. For example, like if she's at, let's say, 30% body fat or 25% body fat, maybe, like whatever's healthy for a woman, then you won't see all this like, you know, these kind of details in her muscles in her upper body. So even if she has some muscle, then it's like, as long as she has a healthy amount of body fat for a woman, then maybe it's okay. Like, but I want to get a bit of muscle, but not too muscly. Yeah, because then it can just look kind of, in my personal opinion, I'd rather not say, but yeah, basically that I need to kind of shut up. But yeah, basically, it's just, I don't really understand where this whole like aesthetic thing is. It's like when you see all these super skinny women, and it's like there's kind of like a point where it's not even healthy anymore. It's like, I think that there should be a balance of like when it comes to men as well, balance when it comes to not being too skinny to where you're weak as fuck, but not being too muscular to a point where it's starting to restrict your movement, because a lot of these guys don't have flexibility, they don't have endurance, they're pretty much just so kind of, they're just, basically, they're not good for anything other than that one sport, and it's like bodybuilding, which is not very functional. If you're someone that's quite well-rounded, let's say you're quite good when it comes to strength, you're quite good when it comes to endurance, and you're also quite good when it comes to power and speed. So like, you know, like short, like speed, like, you know, fast switch fibers and all that. So having that well-rounded kind of balance, I think you're going to make you like the best overall athlete. Because like even in things like if you see like the world's strongest man competition, right? You have to have a certain level of cardio to do well in that, because you see some of these challenges where they're having to run with this massive weight on their shoulders. But if they don't have the cardio, then they're going to get gassed out right away. You know, they have to have a certain level of, you know, they have to have worked their heart to be able to withstand that level of, you know, like, yeah, performance, basically. Oh yeah, dwarfism, what about it? Thick thighs save lives. What do you mean? Once you start lifting weights, working out, you have to continue it, because a person starts to lose their physique and start to develop scars. Yeah, in about like stretch marks, because like if you get like huge muscles, that like if you have loads of fat, your skin will like stretch out. So when that goes away, then you're gonna have all this like loose skin. I mean, it's not going to be that much of a problem if you don't get that big, but yeah, like there is ways to, like, say if you, it can actually be good to build muscle if you're trying to like lose fat, because you can actually reduce the amount of loose skin that you have, because you're able to fill some of that in with the muscle. So that, yeah, that can be a tip for people who are like they don't want to have all this loose skin, so they just yeah. Don't some people like get surgery on the loose skin or so? I'm wondering if, let's say, they had all this loose skin, they get it cut off. What happens if they try to like? What happens if they start getting fat again? Because the skin's lost the elasticity. So what happens then? Does the skin start to kind of become weak and just like more easy to break or something? I'm just wondering what would happen. Like, just thought about that now, because I've heard like some people would get their loose skin operated on to like, so it doesn't look so kind of bad. So I've seen some of those like loose skin, you know, videos, and it looks pretty gross. Like seeing all that like skin hanging, and it's just, oh god, like, yeah. But yeah, it's like, but if they had the operated on, then it would like be, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, how are we doing, people? I hope you're all well. But yeah, I think that, yeah, women tend to look best around, like, you know, kind of, not, you know, going like below like 20% body fat. I think it's just going to start to look kind of, you're going to start to lose that feminine sort of curve. And it's like, yeah, you can like build your glutes up to try and give you that illusion of that, but there's going to be certain things that are like kind of happen when you're at that kind of, I am fit but not muscular. Yeah, but it's like what I'm saying is, some women, they focus so much on getting so lean that they're like, my legs are a little bit, yeah, that's okay, but like when they're trying to train their upper body so much and then get these wide bulging shoulders or whatever, of course, like a lot of them are not ever going to be able to really get that big, but you see some of them, and some of them are on steroids, but it can just get kind of like to a point where it's like, is this really about fitness then, or is it just about, I think that looks awful on a woman, yeah. a lot of women would be like, oh, how dare you say that, because they're all about empowering women and all this shit, but it's like, it's just that men and women suit a different look. Like, men tend to suit more of that kind of golden ratio of like shoulder to waist width ratio, the whole like Fibonacci thing. It's like the 1.6 to 1 ratio. So that tends to be what's best for men. But for women, it's like they, have wider hips and then kind of narrow shoulders. It tends to be what men would be more attracted to. But of course, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not doing it for men," but it's like, what are you doing it for then? If you're trying to like what are you trying to go and like squat for and try to get your look? So you can get validation of people or something? Is that what it is? Oftentimes is that they're low-key just wanting to get validation off a bunch of guys, but then they'll complain that they're being stared at in the gym for being objectified. But like, you're objectifying yourself by doing that for aesthetics then. So if you curse so much about how you look, then don't be surprised when people are objectifying you for that. Yeah, each their own. I'm a size 12 curvy in places. That's like pretty healthy then. I'm doing this for myself and making sure I won't be that person 3 years ago. Well, yeah, that's it. Like about being healthy and all that. But what I'm saying is that if you're trying to get the glutes big because you think it looks good or something, then you're going to get people to admire that. So even if you're not doing it for other people, like that's going to, it's going to get attention. But a lot of them just try to play the victim and just be like, oh, this guy looked at me for 2 seconds so that they can put it on their social media. And that's still going on. It's like, because they hope that it's going to get a lot of attention, and then they can, oftentimes they're just trying to promote their social media, but there is some that just want to put these things out as like thirst traps and whatever. They do a lot of like this content as just, they set their camera up in very like provocative ways, like get in the shot of their ass. It's just so kind of like, yeah, inappropriate, really, isn't it? Like there's these videos where some people are doing some really like disgusting things at the gym. Like, I remember there was one where I think there was a woman like rubbing herself on one of the equipment or something like that. It's like, what the hell are you doing? It's a public gym, you're using public equipment. And there might be guys doing similar things as well, but yeah. It's just, yeah, how are you doing, Reese? I hope you're well. It's just crazy how, like, no one seems to have any kind of manners anymore. So I don't know. Like, oftentimes, like, people don't even thank you for, like, doing things anymore. Like, you'll try and, like, just do a little gesture, and it's like maybe you're just waiting for someone to pass you, and most of the time they just don't even seem to really. Sometimes they might thank you or whatever, but then oftentimes they just either they're just too much in their own world, or they're just ignorant and they just don't even care that you're actually trying to. It's not like I would do that just because I'm like expecting something in return, but it's like it's just the fact that people just, it's nice to actually show at least some like acknowledgement of, yeah. But it is what it is, like standards are definitely dropping, Jerry. I was saying even earlier, the standards for fake natty accusations have gone down as well. like people are saying that like someone with just a bit of muscle is like a fake natural now. Like, there's people probably saying that fucking Daniel Craig is a fake natty or some shit like that, you know. If you look at like Daniel Craig and his like you know, in his heyday or whatever, and it's like, I mean, it just looks like a very natural physique, but some people might even say that that's freaking not natural. Okay, frog. Yeah, I've heard about that in France, they eat a lot of that. So, yeah, it's like, of course there is like actual like roid heads out there, but it's quite common, but like a lot of these roid heads don't even know how to train properly. Like they're using steroids as a substitute for proper training. They're just pumping and pumping, not training the proper way. And it's like, if you're natural, you have to really put more focus on training properly. So your training is the most important thing. Like, if you think the steroids are so important, but then a lot of these have less gains than some of the natural lifters. So it goes to show how, yeah, it can accelerate your gains, but only if you're using good technique. Like, you have to actually, it's not even about so much about the technique, it's about the training that you, I mean, yeah, there's a bit of technique, like I said, with like, you know, slow eccentrics and stuff like that, but it's about going real hard, like going to failure. The thing is, they can still get gains without really having to go that hard, because they're afraid of actually going real hard. It's kind of a cop-out, really. These people just want the same results without the effort, and they're willing to risk their life to do that. It's a very weak mentality. Once you're on the roids, it's a downward spiral. You can just drop dead on that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's like, even when you stop, sorry, your natural testosterone production goes down. So that's a real problem if you're a guy, because some guys end up being infertile because they have like hypogonadism. Apparently it can come back over time, but it's real risky, and you can end up, it can take forever to come back. And but they don't think about any of these things. They just think about, oh, I want to win Mr. Olympia or something shit, or I want to become a famous influencer and do roids and cut their life in half. It's like, yeah, you can become a champion, but at what cost? Like, you know, it's like, let's say you get on the stage at 30 years old and you drop dead at 40, so you had 10 years to enjoy victory. But if you did the more slow and steady approach, slow and steady wins the race. You know, like, if you take your time, you do things properly, you work smarter, and then you live your rest of your life as a king. Look at, like I said, Jack LaLanne, for example, lived his whole life successful. He was fit, strong, athletic, and he was healthy up till the end. He was 96. He was still working out, apparently, and poof, he goes out with like pneumonia. So it's better to be like that than to just be someone who, you know, on steroids, who dies at half that age. Johnny Bravo, oh yeah. How for them look like that cartoon? Oh yeah, is that what it was called? Yeah, it's like the cartoon characters, basically. Yeah. Yeah. It's like it just becomes ridiculous. Like, it just looks really disproportional, because it's like they have this like head with this really huge body. It just like Incredible Hulk or something. Just like, it just doesn't look right. They got this like small head with the massive traps and the massive shoulders. The proportions look way off. It just looks comical. It's kind of like, have you ever seen like Jay Leno's chin? Like, it just looks, it's like really like disproportionate. So yeah, he was known for having this comic chin, but it's like that to me. That's how I see a lot of these bodybuilders, where there's this whole kind of focus on size over everything else. Like just this whole idea of bigger is better, not necessarily. Bigger isn't always better. Proportions are the most important thing, like, and having symmetrical muscles and all that aesthetics. Yeah. So anyway, breaking news: Conor McGregor found guilty. What did he found guilty of? I pride myself on not giving an F what I look like. Well, I mean, like, this focus should be on health and fitness, and looking good should be like a byproduct of that rather than the main focus. I think is how people should be kind of treating things. It's like, yeah, looking good is great that you can, as long as you feel good, that's the most important thing. Because someone could get super shredded and then they might get to a point where they're hormonally messed up because, let's say someone gets down to like 5-6% body fat and they're like, there's no body fat left on them, so their body's shut down into like survival mode at that point for most guys, unless you've got some freakish genetics. People should be happy as they are, that's what I say, yeah. Had fish and chips last night, oh yeah, proper like, proper like English meal, innit, yeah. Yeah, chippy tea. So where are you from then, Reese? Is it up north somewhere? There's a lot of like, like it's not kind of northerners that tend to be like quite into their fish and chips, innit? Yeah, anyway, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Snooker in York isn't it? Ronnie knocks out in first round. Oh, really? In York? Yeah, because I'm in York, but I didn't know it was in York. Hello, whoever this is. Welcome in. How you doing tonight? Oh, Scarborough. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where are you at, Charlotte? Did you say? But yeah, Scarborough. Yeah, we're talking about Scarborough now. It's quite rough in parts, but it's nice in other parts. Oh, Barbican. Oh, yeah, that's the they have like a theatre thing in there, don't they? Yeah, they have like plays on it, like they have like shows going on in there, don't they? In the Barbican. Yeah, I've never been in it though, but yeah, sometimes they have like musicians and things on, don't they? Rough as a badger's arse here, like, oh yeah. I suppose it depends on where you're at, which part of it you are, because if you're on more of like the outskirts parts of it, then. So I've walked around different parts of it, like. I walked up to North Bay before, and we went to like P-Zone Park. It seems to be nicer up that end of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, East Midlands. Oh yeah. Yeah, East Midlands. Yeah, I'm in York, but yeah, East. So do you know like Jace offline then, or? I'm 29 years old. Yeah. Everybody go check out Princess Abby. But yeah, you can share your channel if you want. I grew up on Barrow Cliff Council Estate. That's pretty rough. Oh yeah. So that's in Scarborough, you're saying. A lot of people say they prefer Whitby over Scarborough. I think it tends to be a nicer area up there, but a lot quieter. More for kind of like your, going to do that. Oh yeah, cool. It's yours on 39 But yeah, did it go up again? Whitby's nice for a day out, yeah. There isn't as much going on there, but like, there's not as much like rough people though. To be fair, I did like stay in Scarborough for a weekend the other year, and I like went up to I did a few things. I went up to the castle, had a walk around that, and then actually on the first night I went up to the monument. So I went for a walk up to because I was kind of curious. I was like wanting to like find this monument thing, because I walked up like through this like woods, up this like hill, and then it spits you out at the monument at the top, and then went. Is that what it's called? Oliver's Mount. Yeah. So then like walks down and there's this like lake thing, like little lake, like pond. Walks down there and then it kind of comes out near the like retail. There's like a retail park, but yeah. But it's quite nice up there. And then I went to the castle the day after, and then to Pizon Park. So there is some nice places to see, but yeah. Nice view of town up there, yeah. The pond's called the Mere. Oh really? Well, that's a very creative name, isn't it? The Mere. Yeah. Well, Mere's like a lake, isn't it? So another word for a lake. There was, what was it? There was a thing called, is it called Throxonby? I had a walk up there actually one time. Is it Throxon? Yeah, that was like just outside Scarborough. It's nice there if you can avoid getting attacked by the geese. Which one are you on about, the lake or the mere, whatever you call it? I have a request. Will you ever take the chat outside for a look around the city? You keep asking this. I did it the other day actually. I did. I was live the other day and I was walking around. Sometimes I do take it out. So sometimes I go out for workout videos and stuff. But yeah. Oh really? Oh well. So yeah. But yeah, it's quite quiet up there, isn't it? It's quite. Went there yesterday. Full thing was frozen over. Really, yeah. Because I went down to it, but like there was this like kind of hill, and I was like, it just felt like I was going somewhere. I was like, not really. I don't know. Like, can you actually keep? Because it seemed like there was this steep hill thing on it, and I was like, I didn't know where the hell it was going to go. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to just kind of go back down and get off this place. I'm like, yeah. So I was like, just, I don't know. It seemed like this quite steep kind of, yeah, it goes right up into Throxonby Woods. Yeah, that's probably where I was at the time, where it was like, there's this like wooded area, and it seemed like it goes up onto a hill or something, and then, will you get like a view up the top of there or something, or maybe there'll be like some walking, maybe I should like look at some like walking groups or something, and they could like walk around that area or something, and so you get things like Ramblers UK and all that, and yeah, they do like probably do walks up there and things. It's all fields at the top, right? So nothing like what thoughts on men who pay for phone sex services? Sad, really. It's like, if you feel like you need to do that, then what have you done with your life for real? That you need to be doing things like that. Oh yeah, you take care, Abby. Yeah. I just think it's just the same thing as OF, really. It's like, it's kind of sad, really, I think. If you've got that to that low point that you're, it's like the AI girlfriend thing. I suppose that's the even worse thing, but yeah, the fucking AI girlfriend thing. Yeah, I think it's just like, it's a joke, really. It's like, you see all this like AI girlfriend thing, it's all the same stuff, I would say, like, because the truth is that there's no one actually there that's genuinely interested in you, like. And the thing is, if someone's only giving you some like of that because you're paying for it, then it's not genuine love or affection, is it? It's just fake. I imagine it will be men that have more of or less gave up in life that would indulge in that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've heard though a lot of when it comes to OF, there's a lot of married men using that, and I'm like, what the hell's going on with that? Are they just that unsatisfied with their marriage that they're going on these things because they're like, I just don't like get it. I mean, like it's just things are just so fucked up these days. I always think about celebs must be hard for them with the relationships. They would never know who really cares about them or who's just there because of their fame / money. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is it. It's like, thing is, there's a lot of these self-improvement people saying, "Oh, just get your money up, and you'll get, you'll get a woman." But it's like, but then all you're doing is you're just gonna attract a bunch of them that are either gold diggers or even if they're not after your money, but it's like if they only want you because of your money, then because they can be part of your lifestyle, then you don't know if they're actually there because of you. So yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Just get a bunch of like parasites feeding off you. Suddenly everyone's interested. It's like they want a slice of your pie. It's like you get these lottery winners, and then everyone all wants to get a piece of it. And it's like, I understand you want to like help. You're gonna want to help the people around you, but then everyone on your streets if they all find out about it, then they're like, "Oh, I heard you won the lottery. Like, yeah, can you take me out for a meal?" And it's like, fuck off. I don't know you. You just like, you try and come into my life now when I've made it. You weren't interested in hanging around with me before, so fuck off. So yeah, that's right. You never know what their intentions are. A lot of people have ulterior motives. I've come to realize that. Yeah, materialistic world. Yeah, exactly. And I think that there's a place for that. Like, there's a place for material things, but like, you shouldn't base your whole identity around having the frickin' buying the frickin' the Porsche or the Lamborghini or whatever. Yeah. Imagine your haters when you succeed. Yeah, I know. They're gonna be like, psh. Yeah, they're gonna be pissed because I'm gonna be succeeding like soon. I'm gonna make damn sure of it because like it's not gonna be that hard to get things in place now. I'm like at a point where I feel like things are starting to fall into place. Like the lifestyle that I wanna bring about. Like once I make my investment and like I'm gonna start a portfolio soon and start up like different streams of income. The plan is to make somewhere between, like a few thousand a month to maybe 10,000+ a month, maybe. Like, I don't need more than that, I don't think, but that would give me a good amount of financial freedom. But we'll see how things go, We'll see, like how, like, because it's like, who knows, maybe I'll decide, I want to keep going and try and make more money. But the thing is, though, I've got to be mindful that more isn't always better. But I'm not going to be like intentionally trying to make more once I've already got like a decent amount. Hello, Alex Parker. What do you do lives for? Well, I do them to talk about lifestyle and health and fitness and things like that, and inspiring positive action basically is what I'm here to do. But I hope all is well anyway. Family and friends are what's really important. Yeah, I agree with that. And what's this? I got a few grand one day, and halfway through the day I realized I didn't really need anything, and the money was just a burden because I was worried about pissing it all away. Yeah, I get that. It's about not to be too attached to anything, and but I don't see anything wrong with trying to make a decent amount of money. But I think the best thing to do is to diversify your income streams, because if one of your income streams falls, then you've got the other ones to back you up basically. It's not going to be a huge blow if you don't put all of your hopes on one income stream working out. It's about being adaptable and finding ways around it. If one of them goes down, you can just set up another income stream pretty quickly, so make sure you have some emergency fund in case things go to shit. But yeah, that's cool. My diet and exercise methods is oh god. Okay, is that for real? Alright, okay. I was like, is this guy for real? There's like some people out there that are actually that's what they actually do. I actually know a guy that was like that. He literally did cocaine, and he would he actually admitted to going to a place in Bury to see an escort every now and again. They would say, oh, literally this is how he would talk, right? If I'm on a dry spell for like a couple of months, then I'll just go to this place in Bury, this brothel where, like, I can get some pussy. So that's how he would talk, like, in this kind of voice, like, it's just, I mean, he had like a bit of like a beer belly, and it was like, he said he goes to the gym and he's like, well, I go to the gym and I'm like, I'm not losing any weight, but I don't really eat that much food. But it's probably because he's drinking so much alcohol and getting his calories that way, because it's calories in versus calories out. So if you're finding that you're still getting that weight on you, then it's probably the drinking that's causing that. There's a lot of calories in the beer, isn't there? Especially beer, it's got a lot of hops in it, it's got a lot of liquid calories. So yeah, so if you find that you're drink a lot of that, then what some people would find that they're better off doing is having a mixed drink. If you find that you need to have a drink for whatever reason, just get yourself like maybe get yourself like I don't know, like a shot of something like strong, mix it in with something quite low calorie, like yeah, and then just and that will be a lot less calories for you than drinking beer. So that's something. But yeah, but the thing is, even if you try and do that, the thing is that if you drink too much alcohol, that can give you that kind of bloated look, that beer belly. But a lot of that beer belly is like actually not fat; it's actually water retention. It's actually there's a lot. You can actually retain a lot of water around your organs. It's like around your liver. So it can, if you look into like how the beer belly is formed from the So just some people literally, if they just stop doing the alcohol, then they might find that their belly just goes away, or at least diminishes quite a bit. But some are just not willing to make that step to just like get off it. sometimes it's not even an addiction, it's just that they feel like that's their only way of actually being confident. Like it's like this Dutch courage thing that like they need to do this crap to actually feel at least some sense of confidence. But if that's the case, then you're gonna have to like learn to be confident naturally. And that's the problem with a lot of these modern men, that they're just naturally not very confident. I smoked weed for 20 odd years every day. Managed to kick the habit a year ago. Haven't touched it since. Feel much better for you. That's good then. There is some people trying to promote it as like a kind of medicinal thing, and maybe for certain people they might find some benefit from it. But I think for most people, like, I've heard it can actually make you quite sort of unproductive, and you become too much kind of like in like kind of, you know, just like this kind of dopey state constantly, and just hello the fat muppet. But weed is harmful for your body though. Yeah, it's not as bad as like drinking alcohol, I don't think. In fact, I think actually mushrooms are said to be like the least harmful to your body, least amount of deaths, you know, linked to mushrooms, even less so than weed. So yeah, but even like with like things like mushrooms, they don't want people taking it, even though things like alcohol have way more deaths linked to it. Couldn't leave the house without some. Blimey. Yeah, that's yeah, not good. I understand it can be difficult for people to get off these things. They say like old habits die hard and all that, and yeah, obviously it's difficult to kick an old habit, but it's like down to like your willpower. A lot of it's about, if you really want something bad enough, then you'll find a way. You'll overcome those urges, and I think the best thing to do is to not like go cold turkey and just like think I'm going to quit now and never do it again, because if you think in those terms, then you've already lost, I think. Because if you just be like of the mindset of like, right, let's see how long I can stop myself from doing it. When you get the urge to do it, it's like, right, kind of just like hold on for another minute, and it's like, well, maybe I can hold on another minute. I've just done a minute. Maybe I can do another minute. So that might be a better strategy. It's like when it comes to smoking and what have you, that just not trying to just like think, all right, I'm going to quit for good now, because the thought of that could be quite, you know, sort of make you feel like, oh no, I've got like to just like not do this anymore. If you can just push out doing it, then I think that's a more practical way to get to like the sobriety and all that, and get off these drugs. And don't be ashamed if you do ever cave in, and it's like yeah. Was sick of having to meet sketchy dealers and the whole rigmarole. Yeah, no, it can be quite a problem, can't it, when it comes to those kind of people. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot. You get all these people just like on they're vaping on these things. It's like thinking it's so cool, but they're just putting liquid into their lungs. So yeah, we just don't even know what these things can be doing. These vapes. They promote them as like some safe alternative, but truth is we don't really know. It's like uncertain, really. Like there's already been some things that have come out that there's dangers, possibly like popcorn lung, and you know, it's like, because I was quite skeptical about it for like a while actually. You know, like even before I heard all these things, because I just thought, maybe there's something kind of off with the whole kind of vaping thing. Is it really that much better for you than tobacco? I have tried eating fly agaric a couple of times. That's and aren't they type of mushrooms? Those are like medicinal mushrooms, aren't they? Yeah, I've heard what is it? There's quite a few varieties of them. Like lion's mane mushrooms supposed to be quite good, and what other ones is there? Reishi mushrooms I've heard are meant to be quite good. Chaga, that's supposed to be good as well. They grow wild, yeah. Cordyceps mushrooms. There's quite a lot of varieties, isn't there? They're supposed to have all have different health benefits and whatever. But mushrooms in general are quite good. They've got beta glucan in them and other health benefits. So yeah, the red ones, all right. But I remember the chaga mushrooms. They kind of they grow on trees, I think, and they kind of look like them actually. They kind of blend in with the trees. I think that's probably because they're actually made from the same sort of materials that the tree is made from. Yeah, with the white spots. All right, I'd have to look at that. Oh, yeah, and about I thought those were some kind of inedible ones. The red ones with the white spots, and I think I know which ones you mean, but I thought they were some kind of. Let's have a look. Fly agaric. Let's have a look. I mean, there was fly agaric mushrooms. Oh yeah, those. I thought you couldn't eat those ones or something. So you see those sometimes out in the wild. Are they hallucinogenic or something, or just went on to my daughter's room to get my charger. She said, "Who's that man talking? He sounds like the man who says welcome to gift gaff voicemail when you ring someone." Oh goodness. So yeah, fly agaric mushrooms. Yeah, I've seen these before, but yeah. So you can. It says it's poisonous or something. It says on here. It says. So I thought that they were these ones, but since she's only 6, so yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it says although poisonous, death due to poisoning from a muscaria ingestion is quite rare. So yeah, it's saying that it's poisonous. We're talking about fly agaric or something. So is that all lies or something you're saying, or it's not poisonous if you dry them? All right, okay. So you mean that's when you? Why does that take out the toxins or something? I guess. My sister cured her crippling anxiety with mushrooms. Oh wow. Yeah, I've heard people doing things treating their anxiety and depression with magic mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. So how do you dry them then? Is it just what do you put them in the oven and just or in the dehydrator or something? How would you actually dry them out? She was a different person. Amazing, really. Oh wow, that's good then. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Never tried them myself. Right, I'd have to look into it and yeah, see how they prepare it. Because maybe if I ever see them in while you're out and about, then it might be worth giving it a try. we'll be getting off in a second because it's getting a bit late now. It says it's hallucinogenic or something. Like it's called Aminata muscaria. Yes, I live on my own. Yeah, I just air dry them, right? Yeah, I suppose like over time it'll just naturally just dry out. But it says it's a decent edible mushroom. Not in the top tier of delicious wild mushrooms, but perfectly pleasant, abundant, and easily identified wild food. But yeah, because they're very easy to identify, aren't they? Those type of mushrooms, fly agaric mushrooms. Yeah. Hi, is King. What does gang bang mean? Not gonna answer that. Yeah, what's that? You have them in England? I think so. I think you get them here. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. Hello, I am back, Gavin. How are you doing tonight? I hope all is well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, I think. So yeah, take care, everybody. I'll see you all soon. Bye. Be back tomorrow. Oh God. Alright, see you all later. Bye.